can't have poor people. We still need communism. You know, kind of a share.
All right, so EJ, we're here to talk about. I guess our theme is Blockbuster. So why don't you get us started today?
That's right, Bob. Blockbuster Video. We all went there. We all rented movies there, even though it was more expensive than the local place that had older titles in stock. If you're 35 years old, you know what I'm talking about. Blockbuster Video. Did you know they're not all gone? There's one left in the quaint little town of Bend, Oregon, with just under 100,000 residents.
I saw that on Last Week Tonight. John Oliver did a whole piece.
Oh, really? It's like the one in the world now, right?
Yeah,
There's
I think
one left. There were 5 in Australia, and there was 1 in Australia, and now there are 0 in Australia, and now there's only 1 in Bend, Oregon. It's true.
Yeah,
I think I still
just
have my
one
card
left.
somewhere.
I did have it for a long time. It was like a straight up like it wasn't a card even. It was just like a laminated piece of
Printout that they
cardboard.
laminated.
Yeah. And it
Now,
always
what I'm wondering
tore
about
up
is
my
I
wallet.
had a video game out when Blockbuster died. I don't remember what I can't remember what it was, but I had rented a video game when Blockbuster like shut its doors
You
forever.
don't know what the
And I
game
was
was?
thinking the whole time.
That's like the whole. It's like this whole story right here. Why you gotta remember what that game was?
I just don't remember because I don't even. It was something for no. It was because when did Blockbuster go out of business? It was like 2005 or 6 or something.
Was it that late?
Before or after we got out of college? No, it was after we got out of college. Yeah, because I remember specifically going to Blockbuster to rent episodes of 6 Feet Under.
Yeah,
So, like,
because
I was watching.
I went and got
2007, 8.
I was getting 24 DVDs from Blockbuster. With
I think
Jack
it was
Bauer.
something for the Wii. I think it was a Wii game, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, I had this video game out, and I remember they were putting out in the newspaper like Blockbuster's going out of business, blah blah blah, and I just was like, well, I'm not returning this video game. This is mine now because they're not gonna.
Well, they were like
gonna
selling the
collect.
stock. Like they were just straight up selling it in the store. I know that because like people would
Yeah,
go, it
but
was
I had
basically a
one
rummage
rented.
sale. Yeah.
Oh
I know,
no, they were
yeah.
selling them for like $1 or something.
Yeah,
and
they
I
were
remember
like-
too,
they
like this
didn't
was
care.
such a silly thought, but I remember I had this video game and I was like a fugitive from Blockbuster, and I remember also going into Blockbuster and to like buy games because they were so cheap at that time.
Mhm.
And this is such a ridiculous because this is not how the world works. But I was just like, what if they catch me? Like while I was buying one, I was like, what if they know that I still have a video game rented or something? You know what I mean? 'Cause-
You and every person that goes to a library. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, just a side note. One time I went to the Goose Creek Library when I was about 30 years old.
That's a city.
Yeah, Goose Creek. It's where we all hatched or something, whatever, where we all met each other. One time I went to the Goose Creek Library when I was 30 years old, and the librarian looks at me because I was like signing up for a library card, and like, you know, they ask for your social security stuff and everything. And she looks up at me with a perfectly straight face and like deadpan. She goes, it says in our records that you've had the book like Wally the Koala's Adventure overdue for 26 years. Apparently, I checked out some book when I was like 6 years old with my little like child's library card. And
What
they
was the
still had a
fine?
record
Did they
of it.
make you pay it?
Oh, she
Excuse
waived
me,
it finally.
You,
They were gonna make me just buy the book.
You
but
own $537.20.
She was so. It was such a straight face, and it was like such a children's. I
So it
don't
was
know
all
what the name
matter
the
of
book
fact.
actually
Like
was.
you have checked this book out for 26 years. Are you returning it today?
I was like a 30-year-old man, and she looks at me, and it was just like the most ridiculous children's name, like Wally the Worm visits Adventureland or something. You know. Just couldn't. I laughed hysterically, and she was just like, she's like, you know, like we
Sir,
see it every day.
I'm
This is
being
nothing new.
serious.
Yeah.
But that brings me back to the point that like, how much do I owe a late fee to this Bend, Oregon video store? Did they like
No.
inherit all of that rental debt? And if so,
This is what we did.
I've calculated that my rental overdue fee is at least minimum $15,000.
This is it. The first JBYC Studios documentary film. We go and follow Edge across the world, really,
Yeah.
to that
Around the
Blockbuster on his journey to return in good faith to return this game.
Which
If
you
I
mean
still,
we
if I
get an
had the
airplane.
game, if I had it in the, somebody should do this. If I had the game in the Blockbuster thing, I would absolutely do that. I have, look, Tom lives in Oregon, so I could just go visit Tom, and I would definitely do that. I just don't have the game. What I should do is go back and be like, look, I'm really sorry I lost that game that I rented 12 years ago.
Sir, you came all the way to the last Blockbuster to say this? Why?
It's kind of like a pilgrimage.
Yeah, it is.
Do you feel that guilty? Why didn't you just bring it back immediately?
He's a different man now.
Yeah, like I've changed. I'm reforming.
I've done a lot of growing.
Turning myself in. Turning myself in.
Laying myself down before the law.
I'm ready.
The law that is Blockbuster, yeah.
Blockbuster law.
That's like some anarcho-capitalist right-wing libertarian's wet dream. Like when Blockbuster rules the law.
The sheriff of Blockbuster comes out from the porn room. Chink.
Like maritime law, but it's Blockbuster law? Yeah.
Blockbuster time law.
Listen here, son.
I don't recognize your country of America. I'm a Blockbusterian.
I'm a Blockbusterian.
Yeah.
I'm a Blockbusterer.
The Blockbuster, yeah. In our Discord server, Stealth Intel said when we announced that it was going to be Blockbuster, that was going to be our theme. He said, so I think I was in a Blockbuster maybe twice in my life. Both times were this surreal experience of why am I here again? And oh wow, that's a straight to VHS Disney movie I've never heard of before.
And oh wow, what a difference.
In the chat, Maddie Smith just said one of the last Blockbusters in Australia was just up the road from me, and it's a pharmacy now. And I was is the reason, maybe somebody in the chat can answer this, but I was wondering, is the reason that Australia still had so many Blockbusters left because of the whole bush thing? Was that for people in the bush who don't have super good internet and they have to fly an airplane into town once a month for supplies or whatever?
I figure because they're independently owned.
Oh, I think I might as well. Wait, that's Cockney. Hold on.
Yeah, go with it. Go with it.
That's a
Say
night.
Barbie, say shrimp.
Let's stop by the Blockbuster and get us rent us a DVD.
Yeah, that's not a knife,
mate. I don't know. I'm losing my ability to do accents.
Yeah.
Good.
G'day. I want to go to Blockbuster. I don't know. I shouldn't practice this on the air.
No, please do some more.
No, please keep going.
Yeah.
That's a dingo. That's a dingo over there.
That's a dingo.
We have a movie rental place in our town called Family Video, and I never see anybody going in there or leaving, but it's for as long as I've lived in this area, this Family Video has been in business. Its doors have been open, lights have been on. That's exactly what I'm saying. Have we had this conversation before? Because
no, I think it sounds like a mafia.
This is what everything always says. Yeah,
that's what I say about everything.
Luna and I tried to go to this coffee shop yesterday, which was a lot like Family Video. It was like this coffee shop. And it was called Most Coffee. We just wanted a place that had internet, and there are all these old Vietnamese and Korean men sitting outside and smoking, and they have nice fancy hats and stuff. It's at the beach, so they're wearing these straw hats and stuff. And we go inside the coffee shop, and the security guard comes up to us and is like, "Oh, no coffee." And we were just like, "They're having a mafia meeting." It's like the Vietnamese and Korean mafia.
It is weird having a security officer for a coffee shop.
Well, that's not so weird in Vietnam because they usually park the motorbikes and stuff. It's like a motorbike thing.
So was he saying he doesn't want any coffee, or he was telling you not to?
No, he was saying he put his hands out like this, and he was like, "You're not going in there." He wasn't threatening, but it was.
So he was telling you, basically,
no entry.
Sorry, pal, coffee place.
You're not having coffee today, kid. It was like that.
We're not serving coffee here today.
Yeah,
I like how you both went to that same
old,
accent there when you were doing that.
It's the standard mafia accent.
Yeah. Your knee breaker accent. Yeah.
I guess I could have gone Russian, I'm sorry, today there'll be no coffee.
He was actually very friendly though, but it was like a firm no. It was firm. He was harsh but fair.